we talk about Theodore. Now, before we get started, there's a couple of things I want to say. Number one, if you're a new subscriber, hello. I would like to greet new subscribers to the channel as well. Now, if you're new to the channel, welcome. We've got a lot of content going on. We've got reactions, movies, trailer reactions, and so much more. So welcome to the channel if you're new. Also, someone commented to me, because I've been getting a lot of comments on my Chipmunks videos lately, so someone commented to say, can you do Theodore next? And I said, sure I can, but it might take me some time to do it. And I was going to do all of them. If you're new to the channel, I'll explain it here. I was going to do all of them eventually, but like I said in my last, I think it was my last hour video that I did, this will probably take some time as well. So I was going to do all of them if you want to. So I'm going to do all of them at some point. And we've already done Brittany, we've already done Alvin, we've already done Eleanor. Now I'm going to do Theodore. Theodore appeared in the 60s along with Alvin and Simon, and we talked about this in my last evolution of Alvin. They made Alvin a shorter height here, but they made Theodore the middle, the in-between height that they gave Alvin eventually. So I think that's because Theodore's the youngest out of all of them. So I think that's probably why that is. Also, he appeared in the 80s as well, along with Alvin and Simon as well. He also appears in the Squeakquel, but Theodore's my least favorite character, to be honest with you. Like, when there's a scene of Theodore, like, I've seen a lot of reactions of the live-action movies, and like, oh, look at Theodore, he's so cute, oh, he's so adorable, oh, don't worry, Theodore, I'll comfort you, but I'm like, okay. I watch the scene still, because it's a Chipmunk movie, but I'm not crazy huge on Theodore, to be honest with you, so I'm not sure why that is. But anyway, in the Squeakquel, he has a fear of eagles, because they're chipmunks, so obviously that has something to do with it. But also, in the movie, it's basically, Simon and Alvin kind of, argue during a scene, and then he's like all alone, and he's worried about his family splitting up, because that's his fear, of course. And then he goes into a petting zoo, and he thinks it's a meerkat enclosure, but it's not. So he goes into the petting zoo, and finds out there's an eagle. Yeah, but he gets over his eagle fear eventually. He's not afraid of them anymore. But that's very interesting. That's all I gotta say. In Shipwrecked, he has another fear of his, because Alvin puts on a horror movie, of course. I'm like, this is exactly the same plot from the Squeakquel, except replace that with monsters. I'm not sure have you ever watched a horror movie and got scared by it? I'm not sure. Like, why is that a storyline? Why, the eagle thing kind of made more sense because of the fear tactic. But when you watch a horror movie, it's not really a fear tactic unless you feel that way. Although, he doesn't have a lot to do in Shipwrecked, unfortunately. I think, which is good, I guess, in a way. I'm not sure. Like I said, I'm not a huge fan of Theodore. I've never have been, never will be. But in the end, he overcomes his monster's fear. So, yippee! But it's not relevant to the story. Like, why doesn't Theodore need to have a story point about that? Like, that doesn't make any sense to me. Right, Chip, we get a more confident, braver Theodore than a timid Theodore. I think they've kind of reversed that in the 2015 show, which we'll talk about later on. But we see him break out in a dance party. What? Go, Theodore. I love that. Also, Theodore, even though he does that, it's very hard, but Theodore, I think, has more funny moments in Roadtrip, like you can see it, like, oh yeah, that's Theodore. I like that big butt scene. Oh my god, that was so funny to watch. But yeah, some funny moments in Roadtrip, I gotta say. But also, there's a scene where Alvin and Simon, when Miles is walking and there's a car coming, they literally throw Theodore in the air and he pushes it out of the air. And there was a really, really, really sentimental moment. I'm like, oh my god, I can't believe they put this in now a Chipmunks movie. What is going on? Oh my god, are they gonna kill Theodore off? And you hear the heart stop beating. And it's like, oh my god, this is real. This is actually happening. I can't believe they went there. This is crazy. What? But yeah, but don't worry, he comes back alive again. The 2015 show Theodore. Theodore from the live action movies in the 80s hasn't really changed. He does still cook. I can't believe that it took them to season 5 for him to cook. That is insane. Theodore is a chef. He loves to cook. And also you kind of see Eleanor and Theodore cooking as well in one episode as well. Wish they had that more. Wish they had the more emphasis on that. And also, Theodore loves food still, as we all know. Who doesn't love food? It's insane if you don't love food. Food's great. Let's talk about the obvious. Now, Theodore has a talking teddy bear named Teddy, of course. I know he has this in the but if you look at the 80s to this, his teddy bear is much smaller. And also, if it was a different scenario, like maybe if Theodore was a bit autistic, I could see that happening. Not saying that every autistic kid has a teddy bear or a doll, but if it was severely autistic, I could see that happening. But he's a normal chipmunk, so I don't understand why Theodore needs a talking teddy bear all the time. Like, and he plays with on the trampoline. I'm like, what? I basically think Theodore is treated more as a kid. I mean, they keep saying to us the chipmunks are kids, but I think Theodore's more of a kid and a baby than any other chipmunks as well, for some reason as well. But Theodore, I think it's more relatable to kids. I'm not sure why. I mean, this franchise doesn't focus more on Theodore, but in some of the later episodes, it kind of does in a way, so I don't understand that. But there are lessons. I feel like Theodore's more like kids for lessons. For example, in the episode Clown Around from season 1, Theodore is terrified of clowns, as I know. I can vouch for this because I'm a little bit terrified of clowns as well. Like, even till the day, if I see a clown, I'm gonna jump out of my skin, basically. But if you scare someone, I don't think it's actually scientific. If you scare someone, I don't think they actually freeze to death and go into like a coma. Like, I don't think that's a thing. I'm like, it jumps you out of your skin, but unless it's like really, really traumatizing. And I don't think this moment needs to be traumatizing as it is as well. I know Theodore is a bit dumb in the head, or a bit dim-witted, as I like to say as well. He's a bit dim-witted in the show. Also, he could be overly dramatic as well as some of the episodes as well. But also, they try to kind of like give him an edge, but it doesn't really work because Theodore's not one of those characters you can do so much with. I think cementing a character to be so naive and so timid is a bit of a problem for the whole franchise because it not only gives anything nuance, but it's just the same old repeat over and over again. We've already seen this, they try to do new stuff with him, like they try to make him still metal like a kleptomaniac. I'm like, Theodore, what are you doing? And he's decides to shave his head in one of the episodes. I'm like, okay, that's interesting, but Theodore's not a crazy character. He's more of a shy, timid character, so I don't know why they actually cemented that into him, basically. And before, in later seasons, Theodore has more episodes than all the other characters, which I don't know why. Maybe they thought, we could do Theodore, he's much easier. But the trick of making a movie or show or any type of thing is to make a character is supposed to take the risk, not make it easy and simplify it for audiences to see. Like, we want to take a risk. And I don't think the creators of the Chipmunks don't understand that. Like, you can't just simplify everything. Like, they've kind of squashed them into a tiny box, basically, and that's not good. They gotta, I'm very concerned and very scared of what the reboot's gonna be, but I fingers crossed, I hope it's good, but I don't know, I'm a bit nervous now. We'll see. It's gonna be the same repeat over and over again. Like, I'm sick of these repeats over and over again. Like, we've seen this from the 80s. Do something new, do something different. So, yeah. If I was creating the show, I would put more risk-taking characters. Like, why doesn't Eleanor have her own shows? Why doesn't Brittany have her own episodes as well? So, it's really, I think they're, like, bored or something. I don't know, just, like, put like Theodore in every, main character scene that he's in, basically. Speaking of Theodore, ever since season 2, I think it was, they've always put Alvin and Theodore together, which I hate. I hate that so much. I don't know why they're like, this is a very bad idea. Why are they doing this? I hate that. Alvin can do so much better as a character if he was with Simon or Brittany or one of those characters. Why does he have to be paired with Theodore all the time? I don't understand it. I hate it so much. The creators would probably like, let's do this. I'm like, this is a bad idea. Why would you do that? If they were twins, I could understand it, but they're not twins, they're triplets. So why would you do that? I don't understand it. In the episode, the little drummer boy, Alvin wants to switch things up a bit, and so he paints Theodore's drum set red. And Theodore's trying to explain to him, he doesn't want that. I'm like, Theodore, you gotta speak up at this point. Alvin's not gonna listen to you if you don't speak up at this point. So what Theodore does is he decides to become Alvin, basically, and do all of his persona of what Alvin does. I don't know why they're like on the writer room, this is a stupid idea. Why are we even doing this? But anyway, yeah, so Alvin and Theodore get into a little bit of a fight, and and Alvin becomes Theodore, basically, and Theodore becomes Alvin, which is so stupid. Like, why is this a thing? Oh, it makes me cringe so much. Anyway, also, Theodore does dub the Alvin hat, and I'm like, oh, Theodore, that's too fast. So, kind of at the end, what they need to do is Alvin and Theodore need to communicate more about this. As well. I don't know why this is an even episode at this point, but yeah, but he gets his drum set back as well. But I think it just goes to show you that Theodore and Alvin need to communicate with this stuff, because it's so much easier and so much better for these characters to just communicate instead of fighting over something so little. It's just a little thing. It's just a little thing. Also, we do get to see a little bit of Simon and Theodore's relationship. I wish they had that a little bit more, because I think they connect really well together as characters. And you kind of see that in some of the episodes as well, which is very interesting as well. Also, in season 5, we see a kind of like a dynamic relationship between Theodore and Simon. The one thing I will say about Theodore is I like that he plays the drums. Did he play the drums in the cartoon? I can't remember. But I do like he plays the drums in like concerts. I think that's pretty cool as well. Speaking of trying to do something new with Theodore, in the episode Allergic Reaction, he gets an allergic reaction to something. And if you're allergic to food, now I'm not sure if this is true or not. If you're allergic to food, I guess there's some foods you can't eat, like peanut butter, but you wouldn't say to your child, or the doctor said, oh, you can't eat anything at all. That's just pretty stupid. And, you know, this is the weirdest thing. This is so stupid. So, Brittany did not know that flowers were causing allergic reactions. And I'm like, oh, Brittany, did you not see the fine print or ask Jeanette about this? Because Jeanette knows a lot about nature and flowers. So, why didn't she go to her? Anyway, yeah, so I'm like, the doctor should have known about this. I was like, I don't know. So, I'm like, what kind of doctor are you? But anyway, in the episode Mr. Lou, Theodore makes a weird type of clay character that reminds me of Toy Story 4, Forking. I'm like, are you trying to rip off Toy Story 4? How dare you? I think this is kind of to replace Talking Teddy. I don't know, it's just so stupid. But anyway, overall, I do have a love-hate relationship with Theodore. Like, there are big problems with him. But I would just push him aside. Like, I would personally give no more episodes or no more story points to Theodore, because obviously it's not working. So, you know, so yeah, I would just push him. I would just leave Theodore in the shadows for a bit. Like, he's had his time, you know, let someone else take over, like Alan, for instance. And I understand what they're trying to do with Alan and Theodore, but again, why does Alan need a sidekick? Like, this is not a superhero show. This is our Chipmunk story. It's not a Theodore show either. So why is that? I personally think this is all Janice's fault, to be honest with you. I'm not blaming her or anything, but you can see the cracks and crumbles in the show. So what do you think of Theodore? Let me know what you guys like. Make sure to like, share, subscribe to most of you guys.